The transport ship landed on Station Kepler 7 with a heavy thud that made Lisa Hartley's stomach tighten. She looked out the small window and saw the military academy for the first time. It was huge and gray, built from metal that looked cold and unwelcoming. Other human cadets around her were loud and excited, talking fast and laughing. Lisa said nothing. She never did. The 40 human recruits lined up in the landing bay. They were the first humans ever accepted into the Galactic Military Academy. Some people thought this was an honor. Lisa just thought it was necessary. Humans needed to find their place in a galaxy that did not want them. A shadow fell across the line. Every cadet felt it before they saw him. Drill Sergeant Crix walked toward them with heavy steps that made the metal floor shake. He was a Vexthari, a species that stood 3 meters tall with thick gray skin and 4 arms. 2 of his arms held weapons. The other 2 hung at his sides like tree trunks. His face was hard and scarred. His eyes were dark and cold. "Humans," he said. His voice was rough like grinding metal. "I have trained soldiers for 30 years. I have never trained a species so weak. But here you are. The Academy says I must train you. So I will train you. But know this, you will break. All of you will break." He walked down the line, looking at each human. When he reached Lisa, he paused for only 1 second. She did not move. She did not look at him. She kept her eyes straight ahead. He moved on, not even seeing her, really. Lisa was good at not being seen. She had been practicing since childhood. Crix pointed at the loudest cadet, a man named David. "You think you are tough? You smile at me like you know something I do not know. We will fix that smile." For the next hour, Crix ran them through basic drills. He pushed them hard. He made them run until they were tired. He made them carry heavy things until their arms burned. David fell down twice. Crix laughed at him. The other cadets struggled too, but they kept going. Lisa ran at the same speed as everyone. She carried the same weight. She did not complain. She did not smile or frown. She just did the work. By the time they reached the barracks, everyone was exhausted. The barracks were simple. Each cadet got a small room with a bed, a desk, and a locker. Lisa put her things away quickly and carefully. She did not unpack much. She had learned long ago that keeping things simple made life easier. That night, she lay in bed and thought about why she had come. Her parents did not want her to join the military. They wanted her to stay on Earth and find a normal job. But Lisa knew something they did not. Humans needed to be more than normal. The galaxy was full of species that were stronger and faster. The only way humans could survive was to be smarter. Lisa was smart. She was very smart. But no one usually noticed because she was quiet. The next morning brought weapons training. Crix showed them how to hold blasters and throw combat knives. He explained the science of shooting and the technique of throwing. Most of the human cadets tried to copy him exactly. They were loud about it, talking to each other and making jokes. Crix hated that. He yelled at them constantly. Lisa watched everything. She watched how Crix held the blaster. She noticed that his third arm helped him balance when he fired. She saw that the recoil was strong, so his body had to be ready for it. She watched the younger Vexthari soldiers who came to help. They moved differently than Crix. They were faster, but less stable. She memorized these things without trying to. When it was time to practice, Lisa stepped up to the shooting range. She picked up the blaster and felt its weight. She thought about what she had seen. She positioned her feet like Crix had shown, but she adjusted her stance just slightly. She held the blaster a little different from the others. Then she fired. The shot hit the target perfectly in the center. She fired again and again. Each shot was perfect, but she did it all in silence. No one noticed. She was just another human cadet hitting targets. A few days later, they did a hand-to-hand combat training. A tall Krell soldier came to teach them. Krell were built like insects with hard shells and multiple limbs. The Krell soldier was angry and mean. He threw one of the human cadets across the room, just to show his power. David tried to fight back with strength. The Krell laughed and knocked him down. When it was Lisa's turn, she stepped forward. The Krell soldier looked at her like she was nothing. "Come on, human. Try to hit me," he said. Lisa did not rush at him. She did not try to use strength. Instead, she watched him. She saw that his shell was hard on the outside, but his joints were weak. She saw that when he tried to hit her, his movements were big and slow. She moved to the side just a tiny bit. His fist passed by her without touching her. Then she moved close to his leg and pushed at his joint. The Krell soldier lost his balance. He fell down. He was shocked. He got back up and tried again. Lisa did the same thing. She moved without using strength. She found the weak points. She let his own power work against him. The Krell soldier gave up after 5 minutes. He walked away without saying anything. The other cadets stared at Lisa. Crix was watching from the corner of the room. His face showed nothing, but Lisa saw his eyes follow her as she walked back to her place in line. That night, other cadets started asking her questions. How did she do that? How did she know where to move? Lisa gave simple answers. "I watched," she said. "I saw where he was weak. I used his strength against him." They did not understand. Most soldiers were taught to be strong and aggressive. They were taught to attack and defeat. Lisa had learned something different on Earth. On Earth, you could not always win with strength. Sometimes you had to be smart. Sometimes you had to wait and watch. Sometimes the quiet person in the room was the one who knew the most. Days passed. Weeks passed. Lisa continued to be quiet. She continued to watch. She continued to learn. Crix continued to ignore her, focusing his anger and his tests on the louder cadets. David and the others tried hard. They got stronger. But something was happening to Lisa that no one else noticed. She was learning to read her enemy. She was learning to see what others did not see. She was becoming something that the Galactic Military Academy had never seen before. She was becoming dangerous. And no one even knew it yet. Drill Sergeant Crix stood in the training yard and looked at the 40 human cadets with hard eyes. "Today, you will do something different," he said. "Today, you will work together. You will move a live creature from one place to another. You will not hurt it. You will not wake it. If you fail, you will do it again. If you fail again, you will leave the academy." The cadets felt fear. This was a real test. This was not just running or training. This was about working with another person and trusting each other. Crix walked them to a transport cage. Inside was a Thrask. It was the size of a large horse, but shaped like nothing on Earth. It had 4 thick legs and a body that was covered in rough brown skin. Its claws were like daggers. Its teeth were long and yellow. Right now, the Thrask was sleeping. Someone had given it a medicine to make it sleep. "The Thrask weighs 400 kilograms, Crix said. "It is dangerous when it is awake. It is still dangerous when it sleeps, because if you wake it, it will attack. You will work in pairs. You will move it from this cage to the holding pen on the other side of the yard. The distance is 100 meters. Some of you will fail. Some of you will do well. Let us see which is which." He pointed at the first pair. 2 large human males stepped forward. They looked strong. They thought they could lift the Thrask with muscle. They grabbed the creature and tried to carry it like a log. The Thrask was too heavy. They managed to pick it up, but only just. They started to walk, but the creature's body hung down between them. The weight was too much. They only made it 20 meters before they had to put it down. The Thrask stirred. Its eyes started to open. One of the males panicked. He jumped back. The other male tried to quiet the Thrask by making soft sounds. The creature woke up fully. It screamed. The sound was like metal tearing. The Thrask jumped to its feet and started to attack. Crix came over with a stick that gave out electricity. He used it on the Thrask until the creature stopped moving. Then he looked at the two males with disappointment. You failed. You used only muscle and no brain. Get back in line. The next pair tried a different way. They tried to drag the Thrask using a cloth under its body. This was better, but the creature's tail hit the ground hard, and it started to wake up. They dragged it faster, but by the time they reached the pen, the Thrask was fully awake and angry. Crick shocked it again. Pair after pair tried. Some lifted it using strength. Some tried to drag it. Some tried to rock it gently to keep it asleep. All of them failed. The Thrask kept waking up. Crix kept stunning it with electricity. Then Lisa was called. Crix pointed at her and then pointed at a human male named Marcus. Marcus was confident. He had been successful in other tests. He thought he could do anything with enough strength. Lisa walked over to the cage with Marcus. Marcus looked at Lisa. I will take the front. You take the back. We will lift together and move fast. The faster we go, the faster we get it done. Lisa did not argue. She just looked at the Thrask. She studied how the creature was lying. She looked at where its weight was balanced. She noticed that the Thrask's center of gravity was not in the middle. It was lower and toward the creature's front. She saw that the legs were positioned in a way that would help carry the body if someone knew how to use them. We should not lift, Lisa said quietly. What? Marcus asked. We should not try to carry all of its weight. We should position ourselves under specific points. If we lift at the right places, the creature will feel lighter. The weight will be easier to move. Marcus thought this was crazy, but he was willing to try because Lisa had not failed yet in other tests. They both went to the cage. Lisa positioned herself at a point just behind the creature's front legs. She showed Marcus where to stand, which was near the creature's back legs. They both got low. They put their hands on the Thrask's body at very specific places. Then they lifted. The creature came off the ground. And it was light. Not light like a feather, but light enough that two humans could carry it without struggling. Now walk slowly, Lisa said, and keep your hands in the same place. They walked forward together. Lisa moved her body with the creature's weight, making small adjustments with her hands. Marcus followed her lead. The Thrask hung between them, balanced perfectly. Its body was supported at exactly the right points. They walked across the yard. 100 meters. 200 meters. The creature slept the whole time. Its eyes did not open. Its body did not stir. When they reached the holding pen, they lowered the Thrask down gently. It hit the ground softly. The creature stretched once and went back to sleep. The entire training yard was silent. Every cadet stared at Lisa. Even the soldiers who had come to watch were shocked. Crick stepped forward. His face showed nothing, but his eyes were different. They were not full of anger or contempt. They were full of something else. Something like surprise. Again, he said. Do it again. Lisa and Marcus did it again. And again. Every time, they moved the Thrask perfectly. Every time, the creature stayed asleep. After the fifth time, Crix told them to stop. He looked at Lisa for a long time. Come here, he said. Lisa walked to him. Crix was 3 meters tall, and she was less than 2 meters. She had to look up at him. How did you know? He asked. I watched, Lisa said. I saw how the creature was balanced. I saw which parts of the body held the most weight. I saw that if we supported the weight at the right places, the creature would not feel like it was being carried. It would just feel like it was moving. Crick said nothing. He just looked at her. Then he turned to the other cadets. Do you see what the human did? She did not use strength. She used her brain. She watched. She learned. She understood something that none of you understood. That is what makes a soldier. Not muscle. Not aggression. Not aggression, but the ability to see what others do not see. That night, other cadets came to Lisa's room. They wanted to know how she did it. They wanted her to teach them. Lisa was surprised. She had never taught anyone before. But she tried. She explained about balance and weight, distribution, and how to read an object's shape. Marcus told everyone that Lisa was incredible. He said she made the impossible look easy. Other cadets started asking to train with Lisa, people who were stronger and taller and, from species that were supposed to be superior to humans, all wanted to learn from her. Crix watched all of this from a distance. The Vexthari drill sergeant was thinking about things he had been sure about just days before. He had been sure that humans were weak. He had been sure that humans would break. But he was not so sure anymore. And Lisa, the quiet girl who no one had noticed before, was starting to change everything. After the Thrask test, Drill Sergeant Crix changed. He stopped ignoring Lisa. Instead, he became obsessed with her. He wanted to understand. He wanted to know how a human female could do things that should not be possible. For the next 2 weeks, Crix ran special tests just for Lisa. He put her in one-on-one combat with a Krull warrior. She defeated him by understanding his body better than he understood it himself. He made her lift heavy objects. She lifted more than males twice her size. He made her solve puzzles about balance and movement. She solved every single one. Crix watched everything. He took notes. He asked other drill sergeants what they thought. Everyone said the same thing. This human was different. This human was not normal. One day, after a brutal training session, where Lisa had moved a 300-kilogram stone platform using only her body weight and technique, Crix called her to his private office. Lisa was tired. Her muscles hurt. She was sweating. But she did not show any weakness. She stood straight and waited for him to speak. Sit down, Crix said. Lisa sat. Crix was quiet for a long time. His forearms moved while he thought. Finally, he asked the question that had been burning in his mind. Why are you different? Lisa did not answer right away. She thought about how to explain something that she had always known but never had to say out loud. Humans come from Earth, she said. Earth is not like other worlds in the galaxy. Earth is dangerous. The weather is harsh. There are predators. There's hunger. Humans had to learn how to survive against things that were stronger and bigger and faster. We learned to use our brains instead of our strength. We learned to read our enemy. We learned to use what we had instead of what we did not have. It is in us. It is the way we think. Crix listened. He did not interrupt. Lisa continued. When I see something, I do not see just its shape. I see how it moves. I see where its weight is. I see where it is strong and where it is weak. I see what it will do before it does it. This is not magic. This is just how humans think. We have always had to think this way, or we would die. But you are small, Crix said. You are physically weak compared to other species. I am not weak, Lisa said. She said it without anger, just fact. I am different. My body is made to move fast and to think fast. Your body is made to be strong. But your strength is no good if you do not know how to use it. Crix sat back. His eyes were different. There was respect in them now. "I was wrong," he said. "I thought humans were weak because they could not use strength like other species. I did not understand that weakness and strength are different things. You are not weak. You are strong in a way I did not recognize." This was hard for Crix to say. He was a soldier who had fought in wars. He was a drill sergeant who had trained thousands. But he was also someone who could learn. And Lisa had taught him something important. The next morning, something changed in the barracks. Other cadets had seen how Crix now treated Lisa with respect. They had seen how he had changed his mind about humans. They started to approach Lisa. They asked her to teach them. They wanted to understand what she understood. A tall Vexthari cadet named Kron came to her. He was strong and proud. He had never thought he needed help from anyone. "I want to learn," he said. "I want to see what you see." Lisa taught him. She started with the basics. She taught him to watch instead of attack. She taught him to find the center of balance in things. She taught him to predict movement. Kron was frustrated at first. He was used to using his strength. But soon, he realized that when he used Lisa's methods, everything became easier. A Krell named Zix came next. Then a small alien species called Fel. Then more and more cadets. Lisa became like an unofficial teacher. During free time, she was surrounded by other soldiers who wanted to learn from her. The Academy's commander, General Hayes, noticed what was happening. She came to the training yard one day to watch. She saw Lisa standing among cadets from 5 different species. She was showing them how to read the movement of opponents. She was teaching them to predict and adjust instead of just attack. General Hayes asked Crix about this. "That human has changed everything," Crix said. "I came here thinking humans were weak. I was wrong. Humans are not physically weak. They are physically different. But their minds are strong in ways I have never seen before. They see things. They understand things. And now other species are learning to see like humans see." General Hayes requested a private meeting with Lisa. Lisa went to the commander's office. Not knowing what to expect, General Hayes was an older human woman. She had gray in her hair and scars on her face from years of military service. She smiled when she saw Lisa. "I have been reviewing the reports," she said. "You have accomplished more in 4 weeks than most cadets accomplish in a year. You have also changed the way this entire academy thinks about training. I want to know what you want to do next." Lisa was surprised. No one had ever asked her what she wanted before. "I want to help humans," Lisa said. "I want to show the galaxy that humans are not weak. I want other species to understand that we are different, and different is good. I want to prove that a human mind can do things that strength alone can never do." General Hayes nodded. "That is exactly what we need. But first, we need to test you in a real situation. Not in training. In the field. Would you be willing to do that?" "Yes," Lisa said. "Good," General Hayes said. "There is a situation at a mining colony near Station Kepler 7. A dangerous creature has escaped. Lives are in danger. I am going to send a team to deal with it. I want you to go with them. I want you to show us what you can do when lives depend on it." Lisa left the commander's office with her heart beating fast. This was her chance. This was the moment where she could prove that everything she had learned, everything she knew, everything she had discovered about how to move and think and fight could change everything. She did not know it yet, but she was about to change the entire galaxy. The Mayan colony on Kepler 1-2b was in chaos. A Virgil had escaped from the containment area. The Virgil was 800 kilograms of rage and teeth and claws. It was nothing like the Thrask. It was stronger. It was faster. It was smarter. The creature had killed 3 Myers already. It was running through the colony, destroying equipment and buildings. The colony commander had called for military help. General Hayes sent a team. Lisa was on that team. The transport landed near the colony. Lisa stepped out and looked at the destruction. Entire buildings were knocked down. Equipment was crushed. There was fear in the air. The miners had locked themselves inside safe rooms. The Virgil was outside, waiting for them to come out. Lisa's team had 6 soldiers. There was a Vex Theory commander named Kor who had fought in 10 wars. There was a Crow lieutenant named Vex. There was a Thel engineer named Cease. And there were 2 human soldiers named Robert and Kevin who had volunteered to be on the team. And Lisa, still technically a cadet, but now on a real military operation. Commander Kor looked at the Virgol and made a plan. "We will use force," he said. "We will surround it and attack it from all sides. Our weapons will bring it down." He ordered them to spread out. He told them to open fire on the creature. The soldiers started shooting. Energy weapons hit the Virgil over and over. But the creature's skin was thick. The weapons barely hurt it. Instead of dying, the Virgil became angry. It moved toward the closest soldiers, which was Vex the Crow. Vex was a warrior. He did not retreat. He charged at the Virgil with his weapon raised. The creature was faster. It grabbed Vex and threw him through the air. Vex crashed into a metal building. He did not get back up. "That is not working," Lisa said. She was quiet, but her voice was clear. Everyone heard her. "We do not need advice from a cadet," Commander Kor said. But he was watching the Virgil carefully now. He could see that the creature was becoming more aggressive with each shot. Lisa walked forward. Commander Kor told her to get back, but she ignored him. She walked toward the Virgil. The creature saw her. It lowered its head. It was going to charge. Lisa did not run. She did not try to fight. She just watched the creature. She watched how it moved. She saw that its front legs were heavy and powerful, but its back legs were the weak point. She saw that when it lowered its head to charge, its neck was exposed. She saw that the creature moved in patterns. When it was angry, it always did the same thing. It would charge. Then it would spin. Then it would charge again. The Virgil came at her. Lisa moved to the side. The creature's charge passed just past her. It did not touch her. The Virgil was confused. It spun around and charged again. Lisa moved again. She was not using strength. She was using her brain. She was reading the creature's movement. She was predicting where it would go. After the creature charged 3 times and missed, something happened. It got tired. Its charges became slower. Its movements became less perfect. That was when Lisa moved. She did not attack the front of the creature. She moved to its back left side. She found the place on its leg where the muscle connected to the body. She pushed hard at exactly the right angle. The Virgil screamed. It could not support its back left leg anymore. It fell to the ground. It tried to get back up, but the leg would not work. Lisa moved fast. She found another weak point. This time, it was at the base of the creature's neck. She touched a nerve cluster there. The Virgil stopped moving. It was not dead. It was just paralyzed. Robert and Kevin ran forward with equipment to put the creature in restraints. Within minutes, the Virgil was secure. The danger was over. Commander Kor could not believe what he had seen. He walked over to Lisa. His face showed no emotion, but his eyes showed shock. "How did you do that?" he asked. "The creature is powerful but predictable," Lisa said. "It moves the same way every time. It has weak points, just like every creature. The strongest species are usually the easiest to defeat because they rely on their strength and do not think about their weaknesses." She pointed to different parts of the Virgil's body. "Here, the muscle structure is not connected well. Here, the nerve clusters are exposed. Here, the joints cannot support the weight when you apply pressure from this angle. I did not defeat the creature with strength. I defeated it by understanding it. Vex, the Krell who had been thrown through the building, was brought out by medics. He was hurt but alive. When he saw what had happened to the Virgil, he understood. Lisa had done what an entire military team could not do. The colony miners came out from their safe rooms. They saw the Virgil restrained. They saw that the threat was gone. When they learned that a human cadet had stopped the creature, they started asking to meet her. Lisa met with the colony commander, a human named Patricia. Patricia shook Lisa's hand and thanked her. "You saved our lives," Patricia said. "All of our lives. You are a hero." Lisa did not feel like a hero. She felt like she had just done what needed to be done. But she understood that other people did not see things the way she saw them. Other people thought that fighting in strength and weapons were the only way to win. She had shown them something different. The team flew back to the academy with the Virgil secured in the cage. Commander Kor wrote a report about the mission. He said that Lisa had done something impossible. He said that her knowledge of movement and anatomy and weak points had prevented more deaths. He said that human military strategy was a game-changer. By the time they landed, reports had already spread. Soldiers were talking about the human cadet who stopped a Virgil. Soldiers were asking questions about human training methods. Soldiers wanted to know more about how Lisa had defeated the creature. Crix was waiting when Lisa got out of the transport. The Vexthari drill sergeant looked at her with pride in his eyes. "You did well," he said. "You showed them what I have known for weeks. You showed them that humans are not weak. You showed them that the human mind is a weapon that no other species can match." Lisa was tired. Her body ached, but she felt something inside her that she had never felt before. She felt like she had changed something. She felt like she had proven something. She felt like humans had a place in the galaxy, and that place was earned and real. The Galactic Military Council met on the Central Station. Generals from every major species gathered in a large room filled with holograms and maps and reports. General Hayes stood before them. In her hands was the report about the Virgil mission. In the room behind her stood Drill Sergeant Crix. "We need to talk about the humans," General Hayes said. "For years, we have treated humanity as a species that we accepted out of necessity. We have assumed they were physically weaker and less valuable in combat situations. That assumption was wrong." The alien generals listened. Some looked interested. Some looked doubtful. One Vexthari general, who was related to Crix, looked angry. "We sent a human cadet on a live combat mission," General Hayes continued. "That cadet, a young woman named Lisa Hartley, accomplished something that our best soldiers could not accomplish. She studied her opponent. She found weaknesses. She used intelligence instead of just aggression. And she won." Crix stepped forward. The other Vexthari general, his cousin Kor, looked at him with surprise. Crix did not usually support humans. Everyone knew this. "I was wrong about humanity," Crix said. His voice was strong and clear. "I thought they were weak because they could not match our strength. I did not understand that strength is only one kind of power. Humans have a different kind of power. They see things we do not see. They think in ways we do not think. In a galaxy where brute force is common, intelligence like theirs is rare. It is valuable. It is worth more than strength." One of the Krell generals stood up. "If this is true, why did we not see this before? Why did we not know that humans could do these things?" "Because we did not look," Crix said. "We assumed they were weak and did not watch them carefully. We did not notice what they could do because we were not looking for it. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Humans think differently. They approach problems differently. They solve things in ways we would never solve them." General Hayes nodded. I am recommending that the Academy change its human training program. Instead of trying to make humans stronger like other species, we should train them in what they are naturally good at. We should put them in roles where observation, strategy, and detailed analysis are needed. We should use their minds as much as their bodies. The council voted. The decision was unanimous. Humanity would be given new roles in the military. Humans would be trained as analysts, strategists, and tactical officers. Humans would be consultants to military leaders of every species. Lisa was offered a promotion to tactical officer, rank of lieutenant. At her age and with her experience, this should not have been possible. But she had earned it. Everyone knew it. General Hayes came to Lisa's room to give her the news herself. "You are being promoted," Hayes said. "But I have another request for you. I want you to train other soldiers. I want you to teach them what you know. I want you to share your understanding of movement and balance and strategy with soldiers from every species. Will you do that?" Lisa said yes without hesitation. This was what she had always wanted. This was what she had come to the Academy for. Not to be the best soldier, but to show that humans could teach other species something valuable. Crix volunteered to help her. The two of them, the quiet human girl and the fierce Vexthari drill sergeant, became the Academy's primary training team. They started a new program. It was called the Strategy and Analysis Program. Every soldier, no matter what species, could attend. The soldiers would learn to observe. They would learn to predict. They would learn to use intelligence as a weapon. The first class had 30 soldiers from 6 different species. Lisa stood in front of them. She was still quiet. She was still not loud or aggressive. But now, soldiers listened when she spoke. "I am going to teach you to see," she said. "Everything has a pattern. Everything has a weakness. Everything can be understood if you watch carefully enough. Strength is useful, but intelligence is more useful. Speed is helpful, but knowing what is coming is better. I will teach you to be smart soldiers." And smart soldiers almost always win. Crix stood in the back of the room. He watched Lisa teach. He remembered the day he had arrived at the Academy thinking humans were weak. He remembered dismissing Lisa as unimportant. He remembered how wrong he had been done over the next months. Lisa's program expanded. More soldiers wanted to learn from her. The Academy started recruiting more humans because humans had proven themselves. The first generation of human soldiers had changed things. They had shown the galaxy that humans could think differently, and that different was valuable. Reports came in from military operations across known space. In every situation where human soldiers or human advisors were involved, the success rate went up. Humans were not the strongest species. Humans were not the fastest. But humans were smart in ways that other species had not learned to be smart. Other alien species started asking for human consultants. Countries and governments wanted to hire human advisors. What had started with one quiet cadet at an academy turned into a galaxy-wide shift. Humans went from being the weakest accepted species to being one of the most valued. A year after Lisa first arrived at the Academy, a reporter came to interview her. The reporter was from a news station that covered military stories across the galaxy. "How does it feel?" the reporter asked. "To have changed the entire military structure of the galaxy?" Lisa thought about the question. "I did not change anything," she said. "I just showed what humans already were. We come from a world where strength alone is never enough. We have always had to think. We have always had to observe. We have always had to find the weaknesses in our enemies. I just brought that to a place where everyone could see it." The reporter asked, "What do you want your legacy to be?" Lisa did not answer right away. She looked out the window at the training yard below. Soldiers from 10 different species were down there, learning and practicing. They were moving with precision. They were watching each other carefully. They were thinking instead of just attacking. They were becoming smarter soldiers. "I want people to know that different is not bad," Lisa finally said. "I want people to know that if you are not the strongest, that does not mean you are weak. You just have to find what you are strong at. You have to use your mind. You have to watch. You have to learn. That is what humans are good at. And now, other species are learning to be good at it too." The story was published across the galaxy. Lisa Hartley's name became famous, but she was still quiet. She was still the same person who watched instead of talked. She was still the person who understood things that others did not see. Crix retired 2 years later. Before he left, he told Lisa something. "You came here and you did not know if you would succeed. The galaxy did not think you could succeed. But you succeeded because you were who you were. You did not try to be strong like a Vexthari. You did not try to be fast like a Krell. You were a human. And that was enough. That was more than enough." Lisa understood what he meant. She was a human from a harsh world. She was built to survive by thinking and observing. And it turned out the galaxy needed that. It turned out there was a place for humans in the stars. It turned out that the quietest person in the room could be the one who changed everything. Years passed. Lisa became a general. She led teams. She trained thousands of soldiers. She helped other humans find their place in the galaxy. And she never forgot where she came from. She never forgot the academy. She never forgot Crix, who had been wrong about humans, and had the strength to admit it. The galaxy became a better place because humans were different. Because they thought differently. Because they had something valuable to offer that no other species had. And it all started with one quiet cadet who saw what others did not see and had the courage to show the galaxy what humans could be taught at the main academy on station Kepler 7. There is now a statue of Lisa Hartley. It shows her in a pose of observation and balance. Below it, a simple plaque reads, "She saw what others could not see." She taught the galaxy to see it too. And in the barracks, in the training yards, in the military operations across known space, humans continued to do what they had always done. They observed. They learned. They understood. They used their minds. And they proved, again and again, that in a galaxy of strength, the human mind was the most powerful weapon of all.